Apple was not part of that, but it appears that it is.
Yeah.
And there's been several instances to where people just randomly in their home that have a Siri, and if you mention the word police, they call the police.
Yeah. Well, what my issue was that, like we talked about, Nate's phone, he's got it activated where he can just, it could be on the counter, not on, just sitting there, and he can say Siri and it will come up. Mine, I have to actually turn the phone on to press the little button, and then I get a prompt that tells me to go ahead and talk, and then I speak. When I tried to just do it with my phone afterwards, it didn't respond at all, and we just did it on the air and tried it, and it didn't respond. I had to push it down. So I'm wondering what the hell happened with that.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Most of the instances that I read, and I can't cite the source, were the, I don't know, it's the speaker or whatever that you set in your dining room or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The echoes and all that. Yeah.
Alexa.
Yeah, that picks up everything.
Yeah, that's a different thing because you have it on because you want to be able to talk with it. I don't have that setting on my phone. I have to physically activate to get Siri.
And then I guess several people have gone to jail because of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, all of these things, Siri and the Google and Alexa, they all connect back to, servers at Apple or Google or Amazon or whatever it is. And
Yeah.
so that stuff is recorded somehow.
Yeah.
So it's there.
Well, I get it, and I know that when I'm talking to it, but I don't know why it got activated.
That's weird.
Well, yeah, and then the article I read, again, I can't cite it, I apologize for that, but it said to, if you're going to hit Google, type it in, do not talk to it.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right.
Yeah,
well,
sure.
Thanks, Paul. Anything else?
That's not, I guess that's about it. Good luck deer hunting, Brian.
All right.
I'll be going down to Detroit when you're coming up here with your brother, but...
Okay. Well, that's too bad. You seeing your sister?
No.
Okay.
Monica's actually up here, but now I'm going down to Metro Detroit to rent an apartment and move down there and see what's up.
Wow.
Be closer to you guys, I guess.
Huh. Okay. Well, I thought it was to see your parole officer, but all right.
Jeez.
That was years ago. Shit.
Yeah. All right, Paul. Thanks a lot. Take care.
You bet.
Good luck down there.
All right.
Bye.
Good luck.
Bye.
Bye.
Well, yeah, I get it when it's on, but it wasn't on.
Apparently it was.
I guess it was,
So-
but it hasn't done it since or before, so it's just odd.
Maybe if you say police enough, it'll
Maybe.
go.
Or maybe the screaming with police.
What's the screaming? Help. All right, let's take a break.
All right. Well, wait a minute. I gotta teaser.
And we'll be right back.
No, wait. This one's an interesting one because there's some controversy that surrounds it. It's not American trivia. It is from the UK. But apparently there was a suffragette. You know what a suffragette is?
No, what is that?
That was a group of women that were fighting to get the right to vote, both in the United States and in Britain.
Is that related to suffrage?
Suffrage, yes.
Oh, okay. Yes, I know what that is, Brian.
And this was Emily Davison.
Is this a question?
Yes. How did she meet her death in 1913?
Over coffee.
Damn it, you read ahead. No, that's the question. How did the suffragette Emily Davison die in 1913? It's an interesting story.
All right. At outshow.com, we'll be right back.
Lock it in. And rip the knob off. Red State Talk Radio.
My Parents Open Carry, a pro-gun kids book from White Feather Press. 13-year-old Brenna and her parents spend their day in typical fashion. But what's not so typical is that Brenna's parents lawfully open carry handguns for self-defense. And the Strongs join a growing number of families who are standing up for their Second Amendment right and bringing gun ownership out of the closet. Order your copy of this unique kids book at myparentsopencarry.com.
It's a bumpy ride. through the political jungle with Nate and Brian.
Believe me, if I started murdering people, there'd be none of you left.
What? If you're 85 or younger, would you like peace of mind and comfort for your family? We're Final Expense Direct with an urgent message for you. The average funeral today costs over $8,000, but the most you'll get from government benefits is $255. How will your family pay the difference? We can help. Our senior plans start as low as just $1 a day and pay up to $30,000 for a funeral and other final expenses. Peace of mind is easy. There's no medical exam. You'll have lifetime coverage, and your plan can't be canceled as long as you pay your premiums. Call now for free information about our senior plans. Answer a few simple questions and receive approval right on the phone. Plus, call right now and we'll give you a discount prescription card for free. Call 800-350-3211. That's 800-350-3211. Again, 800-350-3211.
Whenever I'm feeling a little down under, I can always count on Nate and Brian for their interesting perspective on topics important to freedom and civil rights by listening to the At Odds Show. Nate and Brian cover important topics with insight, intelligence, and of course humor. I can always expect a laugh or two. So if you want to be informed and have a great time, give these guys a listen.
At Odds.
The At Odds Show with the greatest political talk show hosts in history, Nate and Brian. And it's sad that they actually believe that. So give a listen because the delusional need love too.
Are you looking for some way cool t-shirts? Check out ChugDug.com. They have hundreds of crazy fun t-shirts like gun, patriotic, and you better believe zombie shirts. At ChugDug.com, you'll find quality shirts at a quality price. All shirts start at just $10 with free shipping over $50. Mention Radio 1 coupon code at checkout and grab a cool 10% off. That's ChugDug.com. T-shirts with attitude.
Hi, I'm Brian.
And I'm Nate.
If you like the At Odds Show,
And we know you do.
why not order your very own At Odds t-shirt sizes small to 6XL in a cool black color?
So support our show. Check out the great prices at chugdug.com or head over to our website, atoddshow.com, and click the link.
And unlike listening to our show, you won't be disappointed.
Say, would you all like to listen to the At Odds Show with Nate and Brian? And then come on down in my basement and have a popsicle.
Don't do that.
We
talked about
the question.
My dad punishing us in the basement.
Yeah, I remember those days. You said
we didn't grow up together.
What was the question? Well, we never grew up.
Yeah.
But what was the question?
How did the suffragette Emily Davison meet her death in 1913?
1913. I want to say we had some funny guesses,
Okay.
and we had a couple that were very, very, very close.
No way.
Very
Nobody
close.
got close to this.
Very close to this. And since it's in the middle of a list of ridiculous things, I know they weren't serious about these guesses, but they were very close.
Well,
in there.
name some of them.
Okay. Voting booth fell on her.
Yeah, that
which is
would be
funny because suffragette.
Ironic. Yeah.
And then related, got caught in an electronic voting machine,
Yeah,
which
they
would be funny.
didn't
Which
have.
apparently you thought they didn't have electronics in 1913.
No, they didn't. Not voting booths.
Smallpox, guillotine, firing squad, noose. A lot of
good
dysentery,
pleasant stuff.
leprosy,
Yeah, sure, all
HIV,
good,
cholera,
Okay,
burned at the stake, but kicked by a horse.
Ooh,
stampede.
That's pretty. Ooh, really?
See, those were in there. Those are very close.
Absolutely,
very close.
All right, so here's the tragic story, and there's actually footage
video.
of this.
We're going to show it right after,
her death.
after you
you
mention it.
Get closer to your computers. You'll be able to see it. No, if you do her name and how she died, you will be able to watch the video from 1913.
Yep.
All right. Well, the short of it is she threw herself under the king's horse at the Epsom Racecourse Derby. So it wasn't the king riding, but it was his horse that he owned.
And they were racing on a track.
They were racing on a track, and there was a crowd that were all outside of the railing, the inside railing actually.
Yeah.
And you can see her where she runs out, and she waits for horses to pass till she sees the king's horse, runs out in front of it, and gets run over by the horse. And for years, people thought she was dying for the cause. This was a suicide and a grand gesture. It had been film had been redigitized, and there were a couple other camera angles, and they looked at everything. And really what they think she was trying to do was attach a ribbon or a flag of their movement to the horse. But the horse is running at, 35 miles an hour. They're 1,200 pounds or whatever they are. She hadn't had a physics class. So if you look at it, she kind of wants to get just on the side of the horse, but is not fast enough.
Yeah.
And she gets basically lambasted. She died 4 days later. She was alive. She died 4 days later.
A long time to lay on the track.
They found the banners and flags on her.
Yeah.
And there's accounts of her and the other women in a nearby park practicing this with a horse and rider. So they don't think she wanted to kill herself. The jockey suffered a concussion.
Yeah.
And was so distraught that it was just a few years later he killed himself over it.
Jeez.
So
because he lost.
Yeah. The king had him dead. They were Clinton's.
I will.
King Clinton.
I will have to say, she doesn't sound like the kind of person we want voting.
Well, she never got a chance.
Well, that's sad.
You saw the video. I showed it to you.
I did see the video.
All right. This day in history, real quick. 27 years ago.
Today?
Wow. Willie Nelson got all his property seized by the IRS. I love this quote. I'm going to read this quote because, taxation is theft. This is an IRS agent, and she said, "We try to work with taxpayers.
Uh-huh.
And if we have to come up with some creative payment plan, that's what we're going to do because it's in everyone's best interest."
Uh-huh.
I don't think that's true.
Yeah.
So what it was that they were going to get a piece of his records deals until he paid it back. He owed $16 million. But the problem was, now this is the other part of taxation is theft. He had investments that were in tax shelters that were later ruled by the IRS to be illegal.
Okay.
So instead of making all this money and have it tax sheltered, they said, well, we're not going to let you do that anymore because we're going to deem it illegal.
Yeah.
That's like making everybody a crime for something.
Jeez.
His lawyer got it down to $6 million. His daughter says he doesn't have $1 million. He doesn't even have $30,000. He spends all his money. So they did. They sold his home, right? But the nice thing was the highest bidder was a fan.
Okay.
And it was a group of farmers bought it and gave it back to him because they were thanking him for his Farm Aid charitable concerts that he'd done.
Sure. Yeah.
So he got his estate back. But in 91, he did release an album and they did suck up the royalties. And apparently he's no longer, under the IRS's thumb. They are satisfied.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, that's taxation's theft. All right. So that was this day 27 years ago. King of the Hill does an episode with that. He goes and he sees Willie Nelson, and he's in a little mobile home trailer, and he's sitting out on a couch outside playing his guitar. Sorry to hear about your trouble, Mr. Nelson. Anyways, gosh, there's so much. Church shooting. We don't want to spend a lot of time on that. Other than gun-free zones don't work.
Well, it's not really a gun-free zone in Texas.
Well,
inside the
that's
church.
The problem is that the wording was so confused that many pastors have come out and said, we thought we couldn't allow guns because the wording was so convoluted, like
Yeah.
all laws, like
Well, look,
every law.
the big story is